similar to how I have to think about, and we're gonna get into that quick court case now too. So also this earlier this week, Mr. Diddy found himself in more and more hot water. Oh, before we get into that, let me move this out the way too. Before we get into that, did y'all know that this existed? See what it's called? I'll bring it up even bigger. See what this place called? Did y'all know this existed? It's called Diddy's. Apparently, it's a sports lounge and wing spot, but I had no idea about this. Who knew that he had a spot in upstate and Suffern? Or even if this is his spot, I don't know if this is his spot necessarily. Because when I did Google it, I didn't necessarily see anything about him owning it. I just seen this guy. So I don't think it necessarily is any. I don't think it's. I definitely don't think it's actually Sean Combs'. I don't think it's Sean Combs'. Let me just clarify and say that. But did anybody know that there was a restaurant named Diddy's? Right? I had no idea there was a restaurant upstate New York named Diddy's. I really did not know that. That one blew me for a loop. But speaking of food, his food schedule was released also. The menu, I should say. This is his food menu here, and the prices for it. See, I didn't necessarily know that they had. I didn't necessarily know they had prices for the food in jail. I guess this is how you. This is what your commissary really goes on, right? Granola bars and cashews and peanut butter cups, and got chicken stock cubes and jalapeno squeeze cheese and see, I see more peanut butter there. Sugar-free honey, powdered milk. Got the non-dairy creamer, berry bonkers, sugar-free. Yeah, these are all little different things that are on here. You got earbuds. I see batteries on here. Some hot chili beans in pouch. Have some Under Armour Jet. You can buy some deodorant. Healthy hygiene summary. But yeah, this was pretty much the from the Brooklyn center that he's at. But let me see. Yeah, he's pretty much found himself in some hot water this week. And he's actually going to be testifying. His lawyer said he wants to actually testify and defend himself, which I don't think that's a good idea necessarily. So in huge news in the Diddy criminal case, he's chomping at the bit to defend himself in a federal courtroom. He will take the witness stand to tell his story. Diddy's attorney, Mark Agnifilio, appears in a new TMZ Studios documentary, which why is your lawyer appearing in any documentary whatsoever, titled The Downfall of Diddy, The Indictment, which is dropping soon on Tubi. Tubi of all fucking places. I will not be attending. It's a risky move. Diddy's going to be able to tell his side of things, but he's also going to be cross-examined. And obvious topics include the Cassie beating video, the famous freak-off parties, and accusations he blew up a car belonging to one of Cassie's exes. He has to take the stand on this. Okay, so these are pictures from the all-white parties, and you see a very obvious one they show right there is Mr. Leonardo DiCaprio, who can't. They say there's a running joke with Leonardo DiCaprio. He don't keep a girl that's older than 22. Once that bitch turned 22, she have to know. If you notice, his new girlfriend right now is what? 9 fucking teen. This nigga damn near 50, eh? Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Just trying to read the chat here. They taxing for them chips. Ahoy, 550. Yeah, I saw that too. Like, god damn, he paying more for in the damn jail than they do for the vendors out here. Golly, the vendors what, like $2.50, $3, $5.50 for some chips Ahoy? Shit, it better be the whole goddamn row. It better be a whole row of them bitches. Now the near cookie better be out near roll with this container. I tell you that much. It better be the whole goddamn long thing in them chips are. That's my thing. He gonna get cooked on the stand. Yes, he definitely is gonna be cooked on the stand. No, I would hope not. I would definitely hope not. No, Diddy's not in the black thong. No, that is a woman getting looks like champagne poured on her and two naked women on the left. Yeah, nobody's enjoying Diddy's arrest more than Suge right now. How much of this does he actually get on Suicide Watch? That's a good question. That's a very good question. So apparently he's actually not even eating right now. Apparently he's not even eating and he's in that reminds me too, I need to find that too. Suge. I almost forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. Suge's words on things. Um he's not eating right now. And he's pretty much, he's on the suicide watch, but he's scared that he's gonna be poisoned. So yeah, no eating for him right now necessarily. Nobody he doesn't want to he doesn't even want to touch the food right now. Exactly. Isn't that something, right? You don't want to touch the food? What, you don't want to eat? You don't want to drink? You had to tell little Rod that he couldn't eat or drink. Know what I'm saying? While you enjoy some steak and lobster in the studio. Isn't that something? You enjoyed steak and lobster on that gentleman, didn't you? While he slaved in the studio. Now you don't want to eat damn food there. You've been drugging people with your food and liquor. Intoxicating people with baby oil. The nerve of you, nigga. The nerve of you. You intoxicated people with baby oil. How? Why? That's the thing. It's very easy. I get it. I get it. Very criminally smart. Very criminally smart. Very Diddler like. The Riddler, the Diddler was intoxicating people with the baby oil. That's a great way for people to not remember things. That baby oil get up in you. Because think about it. It's an oil. So chemically, when it's rubbed into your skin, okay, it's definitely seeping into your pores and getting into your system that way. Think about this, right? How many times have y'all rubbed baby oil and baby lotion on your child and they just go right to sleep after? Furthermore, think about how many times you done took a shower and you rub some good lotion on you and all of a sudden you go right to sleep. There are things that the chemicals in that induce certain. I can't necessarily think of a scientific term for it. Pretty much, they induce you being able to be sleepy. So, God only knows what he was doing to the people after that baby girl. God only knows. God only knows. He never getting away from that name. No, he will never get away from the diddler. This shit is definitely like a movie. I definitely agree with you there. So, Agnophilia acknowledges the gamble here, but tells us there's no one better to defend Diddy than Diddy himself. That's a damn lie. That is a damn lie. You can name 1,000 people to defend Diddy. Hell, call Stevie J up there. Everybody's saying Stevie J gave him up, which is pretty crazy, right? Every other video we didn't see this nigga jet skiing. We didn't see this nigga horseback riding. Hell, we didn't see him riding a bike on the highway. We didn't see him walking on the beach. We didn't see him in bars and whatnot with other influencers and shit, having breakfast. We done seen Stevie J every goddamn step of the way except for when this nigga got arrested in that lobby. Where was Stevie J then? Who tipped off Stevie J, or did Stevie J tip off the feds? Which one happened? All I know is I ain't see Stevie J no goddamn where when the feds came and got him. Your skin is your yes. No Diddy to that one for your B. No Diddy. Yes. Where was Stevie J at? Where was Stevie J to be found when this man got arrested? I ain't see Stevie J in not near one of those pieces of footage. The lawyer says Diddy's story involves love, hurt, and heartbreak. Can you tell someone got paid off already for this documentary that he in? It involves love, pain, and heartbreak. Who's to say that he ain't trying to benefit off this shit and he ain't paid for this Tubi movie? He ain't helped pay for it. A TMZ Studios documentary. Do y'all understand how many Diddy documentaries there are out there? That's why I won't do a full goddamn Diddy video. I did already. That same video with Nipsey. I did a whole goddamn compilation letting everybody know ahead of time something was wrong with this nigga. Way before the Cassie indictment. There's something wrong with this nigga. I was letting it be known then. It is definitely something wrong with this nigga Diddy. But lo and behold. So it didn't stop there, of course. It did not stop there. So a law firm repping more than 50, this came out 2 days ago, 50 alleged victims. A Houston-based law firm is representing more than 50, god damn it, 50 alleged victims who say they faced sexual assault and abuse from Diddy and his associates. And they're predicting the group will keep growing as the case progresses. Attorney Tony Busby made some serious allegations on his firm's IG, saying the group of men and women who came forward have gut-wrenching stories about what went down at Diddy's alleged freak-offs. He detailed the alleged mind-boggling violations against them as debauchery and depravity exacted by powerful people. Sean Combs charged in a Manhattan federal court with sex trafficking and other offenses. This is on the IG here. So the Busby law firm has been associated by the Ava Law Group to act as lead counsel to pursue claims on behalf of more than 50 individuals who suffered sexual assault and abuse at the hands of Sean Diddy Combs and his cohorts. We gotta read all that. Busby claims some of the accusers were minors when the alleged incidents occurred and mentioned plans for a press conference where individuals can share their stories. While he is not yet filed, Busby says he intends to file a class action lawsuit on behalf of all the victims early next week. To be clear, there's no known evidence supporting Busby's allegation that the victims were minors, nor have any previous lawsuits or even federal indictment alleged that. We reached out to Diddy's camp for comment, but have not heard back. But then there was this that's resurfaced. Hold on.
Amazon AI is...
Let me get that out of here. Then there was this that resurfaced, right? Hold on. Make sure I get it back up. Oh, this one. This one, actually. Facing claims he targeted underage girls at infamous freak-offs with drugs and candy, the singer claims she was 16 when he chased her amid wild orgy. Allegedly, Diddy targeted underage girls to attend his freak-off parties and lured them with drugs and candy. He has been claimed. RadarOnline.com can reveal this disgraced rapper 54 is facing further scrutiny over the age of the partygoers he allegedly forced into performing at the X-rated bashes, prompting comparisons to pedophile singer R. Kelly, servicing 20 years. A singer who goes by the stage name Good Friday, I think that's how you say it, or Good Friday, claims she attended a freak off party when she was 16 years old and alleged Diddy offered drugs, food, drinks, and candy to lure in young women. She also claimed very Pied Piper of him. She also claimed the rapper chased her when she tried to leave a party he held at well, isn't that something? A Toronto hotel in the late 90s. Now, I'm going to highlight this particular part for the simple fact that when I'm seeing Toronto in hotels, you all are thinking the same thing I'm thinking, right? But of course, that's the late 90s. Now, I'm highlighting this because Toronto Hotel in the late 90s, we're going to get to something later on also that Fury B has found. Shout out to the homie Fury B for finding this particular tidbit out also. So, where are we at here? She also claimed the rapper chased her. Okay, yeah. So speaking to the U.S. Sun Friday, I went to go out to the main door. You know what? I got something better than that. I got something better than that. Hold on 1 second. I got better than that.
I was 16 years old. My friend and I, we were just floating downtown Toronto and we're like, oh, I wonder if there's any celebrities in town. And someone told us P. Diddy was in town. At the time, his name was Puff Daddy. So it was Puff Daddy. We're like, oh, okay, where is he going to be? We're like, he's going to be at HMV. So we're like, oh, sure, let's go there. He wasn't there when we got there. He was a little bit late. We were waiting there in line with other people.
This is Good Friday. If you don't know who this is the young woman that was 16 years old and pretty much was telling her story. Well, one of the many victims that was pretty much telling their story.
Well, they gave us some gift cards because he was late. It was supposed to start at 6, but it started at 8. We got our autographs first, and then my friend asked him what hotel he was staying at. And he's like, actually, I'm having a party and you girls should come. I told him, I'm like, we don't have our IDs, like we're underage. He's like, oh, I don't check IDs at my party. And I was like, okay, but we're underage. Like, how are we gonna get in if they ask for IDs? Like, no, it's gonna be at the hotel. And then he's like, he's gonna give you details. And he pointed towards one of the security guards to give us details so that we could get out of the way so the others can get their autographs. When I first initially met him, like when we went up, I didn't like his energy. There was something about his energy to me that was off. Sean wasn't even there when we first went into the party. It wasn't until about like 10-15 minutes after where he came in. He talked to a bunch of people, said a bunch of stuff. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, remember we sang for you? And he's like, yeah, you need to ditch your friend, she sucks. And then after, I'm like, she was right there when he said this also. I'm like, did she just hear that too? Like, and then after, I just went to mingle, talked to a few NBA players, some other artists that were there that are very, very well known now. But yeah, and I'm sure that wasn't their last Diddy party as well. So he talked about my eyes, my complexion, but he didn't.
I have that same question, original me. I'm just being honest.
Really, like, it was creepy. Like, it was creepy. He's like, oh yeah, you have beautiful green eyes and your complexion's very nice. And then he touched my cheek and I was like, that's where I was like, and one of the security guards did the same thing. And he kept calling me a dime. He's like, you're a dime, you're a dime. There was pills on the table. There was weed. The weed is not even a drug. So like, to me, that was nothing. The alcohol, but yeah, there was like pills and stuff on the table. Like, I knew that there was E there.
Okay, so I'm looking it up. Yes, she is. Which this is right up the diddler's alley for her to be trans.
And there was a lot of snow or cocaine in little baggies in a corner. They like, hard to just. They were like on these little, kind of like coasters, but not coasters. It's hard to describe. Yeah, so they were like in sections. Like there was different tables, and then there was the drink area. There was no bartender, and initially someone was talking about that there was going to be a bartender, but I didn't see a bartender. It wasn't just one hotel room, it was connected. There was like 3 or 4 other suites connected, and you could go through the doors, the connecting doors to the other suites, and all of them had a different vibe. People were offering me different things. It was disgusting. Like, I was 16 years old, was trying to like bounce around and not be trapped in a corner by one guy trying to offer me this, and whoa, I'll make you a superstar. Very, very uncomfortable. Completely like a piece of meat. I didn't want to be there. The main party, yeah, there was a lot of sex going on. So I went into this room, and the door was locked because most of them you could open and go into another room. So I'm looking for my friend, and as I'm looking for my friend, I had a security guard following me around everywhere. Everywhere I went, there was a security guard following me. He told us no phones. So if he saw us with our phones out, he would take them. They would be confiscated. So I'm assuming that the other party was where the more interesting things were going on. It was no secret. Why am I not allowed to go in the door? He stood in front of the door and he grabbed my shoulders. He's like, "You're not going anywhere." And I'm like, "Yes, I am. You're letting me go, and I'm gonna go out so I can find my friend." And he's like, "No, you have to wait here until Puffy comes back, and then you'll get to be invited to the party." I'm like, "You need to let go of me before I tell my dad, and he will come and deal with you guys." I managed to get out of this party. I saw him coming out of the other one, Sean. He was coming out of the other door where the security was, and he was kind of running towards me. And this look on his face really terrified me. He just looked at me. Like very angry. It was like a very angry, like, I don't know. It kind of like, "I will eventually get you." Like, I don't know, that kind of vibe. Like, there was this, it's hard to explain, but I'm sure many others can explain that look of just like I was in trouble for leaving. Like, it was just horrible. And then I was just praying that the elevator was going to come and I didn't have to talk to him. Like, I didn't want to interact with him at all at that point. And finally the elevator came, and the hotel security guard and the manager, I think it was the concierge or security guard, one of the two, they came and they told him to turn on the music. So I was like, "Oh my God. Thank you, Lord." And I ran into the elevator. This has been an open secret in the industry. Everyone knew it was only a matter of time. He himself even knew it was only a matter of time before he was caught. So he did the most until the inevitable. I was happy that, finally people are going to get justice. Maybe now the industry is going to change for the better because we're able to speak about it. It's not only for...
I don't know about changing for the better, for the simple fact that I don't think it's going to change at all. I hope it changed for the better, but with the powers that be not necessarily wanting it to be, I don't think so. So yes, to answer some of y'all question, I'll put it up on the bigger thing again. Yes, she is. Her dad's not white, but she is trans. Apparently, it's a website also. I didn't necessarily go to it, but apparently it's a website called Fridae, connecting gay Asia, which I guess would make anyway. I'm not gonna jump into that world. Anyway, so yeah, this young lady here was pretty much at a Diddy party, in which some things happened she was not necessarily privy to at the time. Was very curious of seeing what was going on behind those doors. As Mano has talked about it before, other people have talked about this before, these doors. Nori has talked about it before. There's a door, as you say in the parties. You can either go through that door or you cannot go through that door. But you might even get asked to go through that door. Apparently, Diddy was trying to get her to go through one of those doors and make sure that she attended the party. And she said she got chased, pretty much, and asked to stay at this party. Why you are asking a knowingly underage girl to stay at one of your parties, one of your freak off parties, sir? This is very Drake like. This is very Drake like to me.